Hello and welcome to the Balconem Baptist YouTube devotion. Over the past few days we have been journeying towards the cross. This week is known as the Holy Week, the most significant week in the Christian Church's calendar. Today we're going to look at Peter and his denial of Jesus. Jesus had just had his Last Supper with his disciples. At this event, Jesus turned the Passover meal into a feast that will continue for generations to come. The Lord's Supper or communion. Upstairs in a room they had gathered. It was here that Jesus told them that one of them would betray him. The mood was tense and somber. Jesus added to this mood when he turned to Peter. And this is what he said. Turn with me now to Luke chapter 22, verses 31 to 34. Jesus turned to Peter and said, "Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift each of you like wheat. But I have pleaded in prayer for you, Simon, that your faith should not fail. So when you have repented and turned to me again, strengthen your brothers." Peter said, "Lord, I'm ready to go to prison with you, and even to die with you." But Jesus said, "Peter, let me tell you something. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me." Then, within a few hours, Jesus was arrested. In a courtyard, officials and ordinary people came and asked Peter 3 times if he was one of Jesus' disciples. Each time Peter said, "No, I'm not." Luke tells us that Peter remembered what Jesus had said to him and left the courtyard and wept bitterly. The guilt and the shame of his 3 denials got to him. Well, that was Peter prior to the death of Jesus. The Peter after the resurrection of Jesus was very different. We know from records and traditions that Peter was instrumental in establishing the church in Jerusalem. Even when he was threatened of imprisonment, Peter continued to boldly declare that Jesus is the Messiah. However, something needed to happen with Peter before he launched forth as a great leader for this new movement. A barrier had to be removed. Within days, or perhaps hours, before Jesus ascended to heaven, Jesus went and joined his disciples on the shores of a beach at breakfast time. But he made a beeline for Peter. There was some unfinished business between Jesus and Peter. The story is found in John chapter 21. Throughout the breakfast, nothing was said about that time, that incident. Finally, Jesus, after they had finished eating, asked Peter, "Do you truly love me?" Wow, where did that come from? Peter knew. He said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus asked again, "Do you truly love me?" And Peter said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." By Jesus asking Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" it was a call to undo his previous 3 denials. With these 3 public reaffirmations of his love and loyalty to Jesus, Peter was forgiven. Until that had been done, Peter was not yet to be a follower, ready to be a follower and a leader for Jesus. The barrier of failure and sin had to be removed. It must have hurt Jesus that not only one of his own betrayed him, but one of his closest denied him 3 times. It must have knocked the emotional wind out of God every time that we deny him. We may not verbally deny God, but sometimes, by our very actions, we sort of deny the power of God in our lives. The Holy Week was tough for Jesus in so many ways, which included betrayal and denial. So today, reflect on how each time, by your actions or non-actions, you knock the emotional wind out of God. Come and tell God how sorry you really are. Tell him how much you really love him. Then ask yourself if there is any unfinished business between you and him. Like he did with Peter, he will restore you. And so today, may the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favour and give you his peace.